Welcome to SpeedPaint Step 1. We've already done Step 0. See the previous video for that, where we got our orc primed and then we touched him up pretty good. Yeah, there's a few spots. Maybe he could use a little bit more touch-up, but I'm saying he's looking pretty good, nice and white, and definitely a matte finish on there. I have the brush that the SpeedPaints came with. We've got some orc skin. We're going to try it out, so let's take a look. Really like that those SpeedPaints have those mixing balls. And I'm just going to put this right out on my tile palette. I have another tip video on that. It's just a palette I got from like a big box home improvement kind of store. And yeah, we'll just kind of dump some out on there. That is very thick and more opaque than I thought it would be. So let's test this out together. This is my first time with this speed paint here, and you get to be along the right. Looks like there's a bubble in it. See that bubble? Pop, there we go. That is quite opaque. I was expecting this to be maybe a little more clear. That's interesting. Still got that little hair hanging out on the brush. I don't know if you can see it there from the unboxing video. The hair didn't go, and I'll probably have to trim that off. Oh well. Comes to a nice point. We got the speed paint on there. Let's put some skin on this orc. See how this goes on. Oh yeah, that is flowing nicely. I gotta load this brush up a little more here, because we want it to really flow into those recesses. And we're gonna try to kind of stay in the lines here. I am not an in the lines painter. I'm a do this, touch it up, do this, touch it up. But wow, is this going on rather nicely. Alright, we'll get his little thumb there. Try to get his hand on his gun here. So, for step 1, you've actually kind of got two options. I'm going straight for a speed paint color. And basically, so your options are metallic first or metallic last. Because here's the truth. If you are painting a miniature, you are not going to be using only speed paint. Probably. If you want to, you could, make the metallic gray with like this Gravelord gray or something like that, I'm sure. Going for kind of the, not really, kind of a pseudo non-metallic metal thing. The non-metallic metal trend has been taken, like, it's taken off lately. It's been really popular. I've seen on a lot of miniature painting feeds, and I'm not a big fan of it because I like my bright shiny metal. Of course, with orcs, I like to take that bright shiny metal and then put all sorts of gunk over it. See, look, I made a little oopsie. Oh well, we'll touch that up. Doesn't matter. And so we'll just kind of paint on the speed paint here. So I'm kind of painting this on maybe a little too thin. Good up on the arm here. You see it's got some pooling in those recesses. That's what we really want to see with a contrast paint. And if I was not painting on camera, of course I can't even hardly keep this guy on camera. If I was not painting on camera, I could be doing this probably quite a bit faster, but oh well. This is for you, not for me. I mean, I'm keeping the miniature, but there we go. See if we can get some underneath here. So this is going to be the tricky part with this guy. Got a lot of stuff down in there that, is not green. It's kind of behind his gun there. We're doing kind of okay with this, but that's a hard one to get in all those little areas. So do the best we can. We'll touch it up later. What I might end up doing is trying a little experiment kind of down in these depths. I was thinking about like just kind of putting some Gravelord gray down in there as a little like shadow. I might try that for like a later experiment. So we can get some of this contrast on his hand here. We're definitely going to have to come back where the metal is on his gun and touch that up quite a bit. But that's okay. That's going to be just fine because metallic will actually cover right over this. So the thing you're going to run into is you can't contrast over contrast to get to correct it. So if you go outside the lines, if I paint like on something around him that's supposed to be like brown or something like that, you're not going to be able to put that brown probably over this green, or at least it's not gonna quite do what you want. Especially the lighter the color, the more that's true. This orc skin green, wow, that is a nice bright orc skin green. Look at that. Nice bright skinned orc there. And the hope is that it kind of like does the shading and highlighting and all that in one coat. I don't know how well it's doing that. Let's check his arm that we just did. Yeah, I mean, it's doing it. It's doing it. It feels so thick. But I have to say, I like that. So, I've done a lot with Citadel Contrast. I have not done a lot of it on the channel. I've painted with a lot. The channel's relatively new. But I have done a lot with Citadel Contrast. I have several of their colors, and I've used them on a bunch of things. And they're always very liquidy. And I actually think that this slightly, like you can kind of see me smeared around a little bit on the palette there. Kind of. Not really, but kind of. It's just a little bit thicker. And I like that here. As long as it still settles in those recesses okay. I think I'm liking that little bit of thickness that it's got to it. Alright, let's see. There's an arm. There's an arm. That arm's looking really nice. That arm looks like it still needs to dry a little bit. Alright, let's try getting his face here. And his face is a little hard because he's got his helmet right by it, so I'm going to kind of stab this in his face. This is actually, of the basic Ork boys, this is my least favorite face to paint because of the way the helmet is on here. And we are going to have to take some white and do back over those teeth to be able to hit those with this pallid bone sitting back here. Which you can't see because it's out of focus. But it's back there, I promise you it's back there. So yeah, we've got a little bit of his face going on here. Definitely painting outside the lines a little bit. I feel like I actually need just like a little bit more on the palette to get enough on the brush for it to actually spread out. And that's really, really thick. See if all the colors are this thick, but I'm very surprised actually by the thickness of this. Alright, we'll kind of give it to a point here. Liking this brush though. The brush is definitely a good brush for this. If not a little big for his face, maybe. You could convince me that I should use a smaller brush for his face. Look, I'm getting here. You can kind of see it. Let's see if I can show it on the camera. I was putting the fine point kind of up under there. That did okay. Back behind here. His neck area there. Not going quite as nice there. Kind of painting outside the lines a little bit. But oh well. And then up on his... I feel like he's got a little bit of skin up there, but it's hard to see. We might not end up painting it kind of behind him. So there you go. So clearly I've got some touch-ups to do on that strap there where I went way over. But the key here is you want to do one of your kind of deepest colors first. So I'm doing the skin mostly because of his face here and how it goes like very deep back into this helmet. I'm not going to be able to come back and touch that up how I want to later. Like, I gotta cover it all now. I have to make sure that I'm painting at least everything green that's supposed to be green, if not a little bit more. And that seems kind of strange, but that's what you have to do. So we will come back and we'll put some white over here, we'll put some white over there. That'll be kind of step 2 here. So step 1 is grab out a contrast paint and go for it. And you can see painting on camera, that one color took me, well, so far a little over 9 minutes. I think if you were painting off camera and doing a lot of these guys at once, you could really, I don't know, get a good like assembly line going and just kind of, you know, one after the other, just really kind of, you know, put them out. And kind of touch that up there. I got a little bit on his shirt there, but that's okay because I need to make sure it's all the way to his sleeve there. There we go. Alright, so I'll have to maybe come by and touch up some of that more, but that's how it's looking so far. I mean, it's got some good depth to it. So this arm is mostly dry right now. It's kind of dry. It's definitely shading and all that in one step. That's actually pretty amazing. All right, color me impressed for first impressions, at least on this orc skin color. I'm happy with that for sure. Let me pick out a few more of these colors. We'll get some more of these videos out. Watch for these. We're going to keep kind of releasing these as I make them, and hopefully we'll be able to get these out pretty quickly. So the next one should be not too far behind this one. We'll see. We'll see when I can get it filmed. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Hope this was exciting, seeing the orc here. We are going to be painting all the different primers with them, so I'll get on this guy as well here very soon. Alright, take care.